Hi, people. Moino Raven Record again, as always, and as usual. I will be covering, since today is Saturday, uncoincidentally, a Saturnian spirit by the name of Astel. That's spelled obviously Astel, as you can see. Now, Astel is mentioned in two books. One is Gustav, a Dictionary of Angels, or better said, a Dictionary of Angels by the author by the name of Gustav Davidson. Now, I did a review on that. You can find that in the description and or at the end screen of this video. I did a review on that book because it's one of the it's a heavily recommended book by me. It's heavily recommended by me for practitioners. And in that book, even it is said where it is originally from, in a manner of speaking, or literally, or anything in between. Bottom line is, in a Dictionary of Angels, it says, Astel, a spirit operating on the planet Saturn, and then reference the secret grimoire of Turiel. And that brings me to just that grimoire, the grimoire of Turiel. Turiel is spelled Turiel, Turiel. Now, this is one of the very few grimoires that I have, so magical workbooks that I have not done a review on. And I remember, despite the fact that it was a good while ago, I didn't do anything regarding this. Sorry, I didn't cover this book in the sense that I didn't review it. I might in the future, but I distinctly remember why I never did it, because the book was too, within occult circles, it was too, not mainstream, but in terms of mechanism, it was too mainstream. As in, it's just a typical book that goes about the same modus operandi for classical grimoire magic with the circle and the wand and the this and the that and the that. And I said to myself, no, it's just a typical OG magical workbook. It's just like anything Solomonic, and it just goes on, So there is no point. There is nothing that can be added to the equation that hasn't been showcased or displayed already in all the other grimoires and or magical workbooks. But still, there are a couple of spirits mentioned in it. Now I'm noticing that I haven't seen elsewhere, and Astel is one of them. So we'll see in the future. In any case, you'll see it if you see it and or when you see it, if I decide to review this book. Now, in any case, I have a copy of the Grimoire of Turiel. I don't feel like sharing it with you guys as of this moment. It's not really necessary, and I think you can find it online and or buy it online. So yeah, knock yourself out if you insist on having it or obtaining it. It is simply mentioned, Astel's name is simply mentioned in the Grimoire of Turiel under the moniker or label Spirits of Saturn. And I don't really know what to make of it in a manner of speaking. Why? Because there are three spirits of Saturn mentioned, Samael, Bachiel, and Astel. Now, unless they mean another spirit by the name of Samael, then I'm like, what the hell? But it's most likely meant in a different context. That could also be the case. As in, my beloved primordial Lord Samael operates in a different thingy, in a more Saturnian context pertaining to the specific modus operandi of this book, you name it. In any case, focus is on Astel. So Astel is mentioned therein, and yeah, Astel specializes in causing earthquakes. You heard that correctly. Similar to the seventh and last pinnacle of Saturn, or in any case, the last pinnacle of Saturn. Yes, that pinnacle that I covered. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for thingy that leads to the article in which I caused an earthquake. Not the conventional ones, obviously, that kill a lot of people and stuff. Nothing that horrible. It was an experiment, and I essentially caused an earthquake far away from human civilization, essentially just in the ocean and so on and so forth. Um, so yeah, this guy is the only other, not entity, the only other magical energy, or in any case, anything occult energy. Let me just label it that. This guy is the only other occult energy that I've seen that specializes directly in causing earthquakes. But in any case, yeah, you heard it. This guy specializes in earthquakes, and that is the only thing he does mainly, just overall. That's the only thing he does. So Astel specializes in earthquakes. Earthquake the size of the average U.S. state. So he differs obviously from the sense in the sense that the pinnacle is more potent. The pinnacle of Saturn, not meant negatively towards him, but it's you can't compare it. It's an unfair comparison. He is an entity and one entity, and just the pinnacle is just essentially like a supernova. What am I supposed to call it? A supernova element or item, a supernova item that is generally speaking comprised of multiple entities and so on and so forth. So yeah, yeah. So that there is everything is on anything is on the table regarding size and potency with the seven pinnacle of Saturn. I'm just saying that. Anyways, Astel, that's what he can do. Obviously, he's not like I said, based on what I said, he's not capable of like causing an earthquake on an entire continent. So the size of a U.S. state is what's on the table. Think any plot of land or any land mass that is like a couple of thousands of square meters. I mean, square kilometers in size, something to that extent. In any case, just to give you a general idea, any land or any yeah, just any place in the world that has the size of the average U.S. state. Um, And let me see for the rest. So regarding what type of entity he is an uncategorized or undefined entity. Let's just put it that way. So no celestial or infernal spirit, or angel, demon. No, no. He is just undefined. He is quote unquote merely. He is just plainly put an intelligence of Saturn. So what a Saturnian intelligence, just a Saturnian spirit, quote unquote just. Now, as for his attitude, quite interesting because rarely have I met a spirit that is capable of, that showcased such true Saturnianry in terms of attitude. Contrary to the absolute majority of spirits that I summon, this guy didn't appear right away, or he just didn't appear. He kept himself not even in the background. He kept himself in the background times 10, and he does not speak unless it's absolutely necessary and or unless spoken to. And for the rest, he really embodies all the properties of Saturn, like really the strong silent type, to say the least, by pure and sheer definition. And he also keeps things short, as in, okay, with all due respect, what do you want? Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, goodbye. No, that's it. And that's it, right? Okay, I can leave, please. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, no messing around, no talking, no. None of that. It's just purely getting down to business, etc. This guy embodies Saturnian melancholia. Um, and let me see what else I have to say. Yeah, no, nothing else. Last but not least, his appearance. As the thumbnail of this image shows you, that's the closest I can come to Tinian people. What you saw as the thumbnail of this video and what you're seeing, that's what he looks like. Essentially, um, a man that is relatively short. Let's just say I am can't remember 5'6", 5'7", or 6'5", 6'6". No, sorry. In any case, I'm like around 1.70 centimeters, and this guy was relatively small. Think of the size of a teenager. So 1 meter 30. You know, give me a second. Yeah, no, I'm 5'6" essentially, around 5'6", 5'6" and a half to be precise. So this guy, by comparison, is 3.5 feet. I want to say around 110 centimeters. So I think that's around like 3.6 feet. In any case, yeah, like yay high, the size of a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old guy. And yeah, he has the body of a man and the head of a bird. The kind of bird I would say The bird you see displayed. I don't know exactly what kind of bird I'm supposed to live. Let's just say like a shoebill. That would be the closest thing. Google a shoebill if you don't know what a shoebill bird is. You'll see for yourself. Just plain shoebill. Um, or you know what? I'll do it myself. Yeah, this is what a shoebill bird looks like. Yeah, I know, quite intimidating and quite thingy looking, right? Quite scary looking or a bit ominous. In any case, that's what his face looks like, and for the rest, he's like completely black, like the shirt I'm wearing, literally completely black. Everything is black, and like he is again, like I've said, one of the very few spirits I've ever met in my entire career out of all the spirits I've summoned that is so like doesn't talk nothing, literally only unless spoken to, yada yada yada, etc. etc. Like I said earlier. Um, and that's all. Bye.